Tony Stewart said that the driver development program for, quote, another OEM ruins drivers' careers. And Toyota's David Wilson responds by saying that most of these young kids who look like rock stars at 13 are never going to sit in a NASCAR Cup car. Brett.
I mean, look.
What happened with this again? So this is...
So I think this was around the time that Briscoe announced the Ford, because Ford basically grabbed him and developed him all the way up to a Cup car. And Tony Stewart basically called out Toyota saying Toyota's snatching and grabbing all these kids at 13 and then has nowhere to put them. So they just sit for a couple years and whatever, and then ruins their careers basically. And they, run a late model for 6 races and then hands them off, or they put them in the funnel, and then they're losing. Yeah, they're losing their drivers.
So who's the last Toyota guys that came up? Jones and Bell.
Bell, Jones, Byron.
Byron wasn't. Byron was just a KBM
Suarez
truck
wasn't
kid.
a Toyota guy.
Yeah, Byron wasn't either.
Suarez had $25 million of his own money.
I think it was basically Bell is the last real Toyota kid to come through.
Yeah. There used to be,
Deegan
Ford,
was, and then Deegan.
Ford has done a really good job with their program in the past. They've built a couple. Blaney, Reddick was a Ford guy, and now they got Briscoe. It's almost when Hendrick's moving to a Cup car as well. He did the ladder. He went trucks at Ford, Xfinity at Ford, and now he's going to a Cup car. Ford does a really good job developing the guys, and it's not a one and done thing. They're committing to Austin again, and they've committed to Chase as well. They've put Chase in other races as well. That's why Chase is a decent road racer now, because he ran that Mustang. He's been running that Mustang when he's not racing the Xfinity car, I think. So
you got to look back to Roush, and it was Chase Briscoe,
Ty Majeski,
Austin Cindric, Ty Majeski, and essentially they're saying, these are our 3 guys. We're going to pay for them to get some experience here and essentially evaluate them, right? You can A them, and if they're all driving the same car with the same crew chief.
R.I.P. to that 60, man.
Right. So, and you look at, obviously.
I did a few races with that car.
Obviously, Chase has made it to Cup, and we know that Austin's going to Cup. So, what Ford's doing is working. We've always said, Toyota has 4 teams. And Kyle Busch ain't going anywhere. Denny Hamlin ain't going anywhere. Martin Truex ain't going anywhere. The kind of the car number that kept swapping around there is
the 20.
Was a 20 with Kenseth and Jones, and now ultimately Bell going in there, right? So they do have a lot of kids and not a lot of seats. They're not lying.
And they rotate. It's almost like they rotate a lot. It's like, okay, well, this kid's the next kid. See what he can do. And it's like 1 year and you're done.
I think Toyota has been very good to Harrison Burton.
I think Harrison's proved himself, though.
I think Harrison's definitely. I said it last week that he did.
Back-to-back winner at 2 completely different tracks.
Yeah.
Obviously had a lot of success early in the year. I'm friends with his dad, Jeff. But I think Toyota's really behind Harrison. You know what I mean? But here's the question: what do you do with him after 21?
Was Scott Speed and AJ both Toyota guys when they at Red Bull?
They were.
Yeah, and I almost feel like those guys had it that they were developing. They just needed a little bit more time.
They were not ready for what they got put into.
No, and
brand new team.
I think Scott was just starting to figure it out when he had the plug pulled on him, and then it still wasn't ready when AJ got in it. He wasn't at the level. He wasn't able to take it to the next level, but they could have developed him. He was going to figure it out. I think those 2 guys probably could have had long Cup careers had they been developed a little bit more.
Well, I think if you compare even Chandler Smith and Rafael Lessard, both in the KBM trucks, they got in the same years. And Chandler Smith, I think, is just learned a lot faster than Rafael Lessard. They're the same age. Just people are just learning at different speeds.
But still,
Ford's got to win.
It still goes
back to win.
It still goes back to Tony Stewart's comment. Next year, all right, you got Harrison Burton, you got Daniel Hemrick, you got Brandon Jones.
Yep.
If they all go out there and set the world on fire, or if one of them sets the world on fire, which in my opinion Harrison's kind of doing right now. He's not in the playoff, and he's winning freaking playoff races. Yeah. We know how hard drivers try in those situations.
You can see it in his driving.
Something's clicked in the last.
But Harrison Burton goes out and wins 7 races. What are you going to do with him?
Where are you going to put him?
Where are you going to put him? You going to fire Denny Hamlin?
Right.
Might have a spot soon.
I think Harrison is on path. If he goes, I think something opens up for him. I don't know what their plan is with him, but at some point, he's got to go somewhere, or you're going to lose him. But he's definitely developing, and this is a scenario that one of the older guys might, look, it's time. And there's some teams out there that have shown that they're not scared to make a change.
Look at Rick Hendrick, man. When he hired Bowman, I was like, wow, Bowman, wow, what a big opportunity for a guy that really hadn't proved himself. And you look at Byron, you're like, all right, Xfinity Series champ, won some races. I get that. And now you're looking at this guy who's completely rebuilt his stable. Average age is 26 years old, and he's loaded up. He's got freaking Kyle Larson. He's got Chase Elliott. He's got Alex Bowman, who, by the way, runs up front everywhere. He's had the best quiet season you'll ever have in Cup.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Bowman, in his last 2 races, you haven't seen his name in the top 1 or 2 a lot, but he's been quietly
relevant.
And he's run 2 extremely smart races where if things went bad for a couple of the guys, he was going to be in. He needed some help, and he didn't get it, but he's had a quietly good year, man. And like you said, though, man, it's a youth movement over there.
You look at it, too, and here's the crazy part. The best part about the Kyle Larson move is he pushes Chase Elliott. Right now, Chase Elliott's on his own island over there. Like, he's the fastest guy every week. He's contending to win the most. Then you got Alex right behind him, consistently running top 8. Then you got William kind of floating around that top 10. Then you got Jimmy that's unfortunately not relevant. You're bringing in world-class talent with Kyle Larson.
Yeah, 100%.
You immediately elevate your program in that car. You find out how freaking. Look at the 42 since that guy hadn't been in it.
In my opinion, you're gonna have 2 current A's and 2 B's. I think. I mean, roughly, in my grading type.
You got an A plus.
An A.
I'm sorry, man. Kyle Larson's an A plus.
You got an A plus. Chase is too. In my opinion.
Got an A with him. To me, right now, I would not have said Bowman's going to go out there and outrun Byron as much as he has, but he is.
Alex has been doing good, man.
I agree.
They've been doing great.
I think you're going to see more emphasis put on the Cup Series from Toyota than you do now. I've heard some rumors about them maybe scaling back on some of their ARCA stuff and some regional stuff and putting more emphasis. I think you talk about where's a place that these guys can go next year. I think obviously not next year, but the year after 23-11 is going to be a multi-car team in a hurry, I would assume. Probably as soon as 2022 when the new car comes out. So that's going to be a place that could be 1 or 2 or who knows how many. Danny, when Danny's in on something, he's all in. And if the funding's there,
100%.
If the funding's there, it
might be a 7-car team when Denny's done.
Yeah, like if the funding's there, he can run as many as he wants, and I think that's going to be an outlet for some of these young Toyota guys to the Chandler Smiths and the Harrison Burtons and.
It's going to be important for that team to run good. And if Bubba runs good, the sky's the limit for expansion and our sport in general, man. If that team runs good, we're going to have a lot more eyes on it. And it's awesome for the sport to have, to bring that attention to them. And if it runs good, man, it's going to be great.
I'm going to go out on a limb right here.
Better be a big one.
And I'm going to say that if you wanted to sponsor Kevin Harvick next year, you could probably find a race to sponsor him. I'm going to say if you wanted to sponsor Chase Elliott, I think you could probably find a race where they would need sponsorship, a race. I think if you want to sponsor Bubba Wallace next year, I don't think you can.
Didn't they just come out with a presser that said that they're going to commit to someone for like 20 races and they're having a hard time finding races to put sponsors on the car? They wanted a primary for like 20 and then they're having a hard time.
Denny's quote was that
funding is not the problem.
We have an inventory problem, not a sponsor problem, which is incredible. Which means we don't have any.
We have more stickers than cars.
Yeah,
that's what
which
that
is
means.
Why
people.
you need to add a 0, buddy.
If I think they might run okay, but if they don't hire me, they're gonna run like a bag of shit all year. I think, to be honest with you.
Would you like to get an offer to sell your home within 24 hours? OfferPad is expecting you. Request an offer today at OfferPad.com.